Welcome to your practice. Today we are getting in a little bit of backbending, but the thing that I would like you to take away and that you will take away by the end of the practice is this sensation of the inner lift and inner support. Because sometimes when we approach backbending, we're coming from this position all day and then we're like, I need to backbend. And that kind of feels like when you're sleeping and somebody flips on the light switch. It doesn't feel super great and it feels very forced. So it is my hope to guide you so that by the end of the practice, you feel like there's a gradual opening up all the way across the chest so that you can actually sit and stand tall and proud for yourself. With that being said, you will need 2 blocks and a strap for the practice today. If you don't have blocks, some pillows might do. When you have all these items, let's meet on the mat. All right, so as we start, we'll start in a chest opener with both of your blocks. And that first block is going to go to the lower setting, and it will hit about mid to upper shoulder blades. So that when you lay down, you'll feel the chest is already lifting effortlessly. And then that second block will go right back to support the head. Depending on how your head and neck are, you might want this taller or lower. And from there, we have 2 options. Knees come together, feet wide, or let the legs soften down. I'm going to choose that option today. Allow yourself to arrange properly over the blocks so that you feel much more support than effort. Close down the eyes. And even though this practice will be quite active today, I want to start slow. Again, we're building up this momentum. We're gradually shifting gears. And in these first few moments, can you pay attention to what needs some space? What is the space that your breath just really wants to reach to? That might be up through the collarbones. Maybe you feel something sticky through the ribs. Maybe you feel nothing at all in particular. But have these first few moments to explore and be here before I add anything complicated. Bring your attention to your hips, allow them to be a little heavier. And from the heaviness of the hips, work your breath from the belly up as you inhale, across left and right through the ribs, and finally all the way across the chest where it's being supported on the blocks. And as you exhale, there's a softening. Let's start some directed breath together. Please exhale, move as much breath out as you can. Exhaling, 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 exhaling. Through the nose, inhale please for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a pause at the top. Hold 5. 4. Soften the back body over the blocks. 2, 1. Open the mouth. Exhale. Let it out. Mouth will close. Slow inhale through the nose for 5, 4, 3. Really expanding in your space. 2, 1. Now with all of this nice tension through the front of the body, as you're holding here, soften through the back body. So gradually you're starting to melt. And then open the mouth, exhale, let it out. One more. Inhale slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And open the mouth, exhale, let it out. Mouth will close. Start to make a comfortable inhale, about 4 or 5 counts. And let go through the nose of a comfortable exhale. The next time you bring that inhale in, start to reach the arms up over your head. Stretch the feet long, have this nice arc through the spine, reach, 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 reach. And then exhale, start to slide the hands down by the hips. We'll bend those knees if they're not already. And I'd like you to slowly roll over to left or right side. Now, I want you to do this in a way where you're not lifting your head and your neck. Everything's just kind of floating off. As that happens, please move your blocks out of your way. And then have a lie down on your back. Straighten the left leg long, wind releasing pose to start. Take a breath in, bend through your right knee, clasp around the thigh or the shin. Exhale, hug the thigh nice and close. As the thigh is hugging close, feel for the space that you've just made across the chest. And even though we'll move our spine in different ways and our chest in different ways, I would like you to stay conscious of, okay, that opening, that inner lift, that inner support that's there. Good breath here. Exhale, cross it over for a spinal twist. As that right leg crosses over, can you reach your right arm out into a cactus? Arm is bending 90 degrees. Move 3 breaths from the belly all the way up through right side of the chest and shoulder. And wrap that breath around through the back of your back, like the low back and the middle back, right where it meets around the ribs and the hips. Next inhale, bring that right leg back up through center. And let it be. Other side, left knee starts to bend as you inhale. Wind releasing pose, clasp around through the thigh or shin. Exhale, hug in. Feel that effortless opening as the shoulder blades hug back a little bit. There's tons of space across the chest. And I'm not saying you need to huff and puff the breath all the way up there, but feel that there's a gradual rise from the belly through the ribs and then a little bit up there to help open. Next, exhale, spinal twist. Cross that leg over to your right. Cactus open with the left arm. And we add that nice sensation of tension through left side of the chest and shoulder. Move your breath from the lower parts of the belly up into the more tense, more target area parts. Wrap the breath around so that you're feeding some space right around through that low side of the left of the back of the left of the ribs. And from here, bring that leg all the way back up through center. Bend through the right knee and find those feet about hip width distance. As we have the feet hip width distance, we'll start to reach the arms up overhead. Now we have this nice long line. Scooch down for you a little bit. We'll have this nice long line from the fingertips all the way through the hip creases. Feed a breath around through the belly. Feel both feet pushing down. And then exhale as you push through the feet. Can we slide the hips up, having this nice roll through the spine? We'll pause at the end of the exhale. Take a breath in. Increase this space now from fingertips to the knees. And then exhale, slowly rounding down through the spine back until it just touches the mat. Pause there, breath in. Exhale, press down through the feet. We feel the inner thighs magnetizing toward one another. Knees are pointing forward. Lots of space through the fingers, through the palms. Breath in at the top. And exhale, wave that spine down from upper, middle, all the way through lower. One more like that, then we add on. Breath in. Press through the feet, exhale, hips start to lift, rolling all the way up, space from fingertips to knees. And then we'll add the little bit of a crunch. Breath in. Exhale, as we come down with the spine, it's a little bit quicker. Can we hug the knees in toward the chest and reach your arms forward so we have this little egg shape? Let's inhale, reach the arms all the way back up, pressing through the feet. That's our reset. Exhale, feet push down, hips start to lift up. Breath in at the top. Exhale, roll the spine down. Again, it's just a little bit faster, hugging the knees in. We create our little egg shape from hips all the way through shoulders. Inhale, reset, feet land down. Heels are pushing down, lots of space. As we exhale, lift the hips up. Breath at the top. Exhale, rolling it down. So kind of think of these as lying down cow cats. Knees are hugging in, arms are reaching forward, just a little bit more core. And then we'll do one more. As you land through for that egg shape, I'd like you to hold it there. And as we hold it there, lift up the shoulders a little bit more. Tailbone is tucking a little more. Knees want to get closer through for the collarbones. Solid breath in. Now can we exhale, squeeze the knees together, slide the knees over to the right thumb, reach that right hand to the left outer thigh. Inhale, back through center, knees are squeezing. Exhale, left arm goes over to the right. We're kind of creating this cross tension. Obliques are definitely firing here. Inhale, back through center, knees are squeezing. Can they hug in a little bit more? Exhale, knees go to your right. Reach the right hand like it's going to go past those left fingers. Maybe it does. Inhaling back through center, shoulders stay lifted. Squeeze the knees. Exhale, left arm is reaching over toward the right, maybe even past the right fingertips. Back through center once more. As you exhale, reach knees to the right. Reach that right arm over to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale over through to the right. Knees go to the left. Inhale back through center. And then exhale, let everything go. Feet go wide, arms go wide into a W. Little bit of windshield wiper side to side with the legs. And then we'll locate our block. As we move forward, we'll grab that block and place it underneath the back of your hips. We're coming into this supported bridge type situation. We want that block supporting through the back of the hips, and from here getting right in through the hip flexors, and a little bit through the quads as well. I'd like you to grab for your left foot as it starts to scooch back, coming into our half virasana. For some of us, the toes need to stay curled under. That's fine. For others, can we come to the top of your left foot? This is going to make it a little bit more intense. Try and keep both of your knees directing forward. If you'd like to, add those arms up and overhead. We have a new line of space from the left collarbone or the left hand, whatever is easier to track, all the way down through the torso, through the top of the left thigh, and out through the knee. Like that left knee is going to draw a line forward and down. And can you feel for 3 breaths that not only send the breath down through that thigh, but up through the chest as well. So you're creating this bow-like shape. And then we'll release that side. You can take the hands down, help that foot back forward, and we'll go over to the other side. After asana, right foot starts to sneak back. Back, 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 back. Decide whether you want the toes curling under, if that's enough, or we go to the top of the foot. Arms start to reach up. We're creating this nice bow shape from the right shoulder all the way down and forward through the outside of that right knee. As you're sending breath, visualize this arc from the belly. It's sliding down through the chest, through the armpit. It's sliding down through the right thigh toward the knee. And one side might be a lot more chilled than the other. Today, my right side is feeling pretty good. The left was really tight. It's not a sign you're doing something wrong or you need to fix it immediately. It's just an observation. Hands will start to come down. Help that right foot back out. Press through the feet light enough where the hips can start to lift. Slide your block out. Pause there. Breath in. Exhale, smooth roll all the way back down. Feet go wide, arms go into that W, and it's another windshield wiper. Hug those knees in towards your armpits, legs are wide. Grab around for the shins and give yourself a little rock, massaging through the back of the waistline. And then bring the knees close to one another, rock and roll forward and back. Let's try for 4 times today. And all the way up we go. And we'll land in through our tabletop. Take a peek at your hands. We go through our classic hand walk. One by one, those hands start to pad down in different directions. And can you observe how far you can feel the sensation travel? It might stop in the hands. Maybe next time you do this video, do another video with me, you might be able to track it up through the forearms. All the way up through the upper arms. You have meridians that run from the hands all the way through the arms, right around through the chest. Let the hands pad back through neutral. Feel the weight pour a little bit more into the pointer finger thumb. Inner arms start to zip up. We have cow-cats. Let's inhale, get the belly low. Heart starts to move forward, chin might go up. Exhale, press through the hands, belly lifts up, upper back has space, sit bones are hugging down like they go into the backs of the knees. Inhale, move through for your cow. Exhale, press up for your cat. One more. What can you notice you didn't in the last couple? And from here, we'll go through our neutral, and you'll once again need your block. So when you think about back bending or opening up here, we also need to focus on the shoulders, not just the spine. We'll work one arm at a time. The block is going to end up on its medium setting. We'll take the elbow just to the edge of that block. Once the elbow is on the edge of the block, the hips are hanging out over the knees. We'll tap that left hand toward the shoulder and start to come down. Thinking of this as a half melting heart. Your right forearm can be on the mat. You can extend that arm forward, but the chest will start to dip down. If the head wants to touch the floor, go ahead and let it. If it's in a funky position, you can always add a block under the head as well. As we're working this, can you feel like your upper arm bone wants to travel slightly down? And the tip of your left elbow wants to reach forward. And notice if you started to shortchange your breath, lengthen out your next 2 exhales. You're continuously making this little arc, this bow shape. Now it's happening from the left shoulder to the hip. Let's start to come out. And we'll switch sides. Right elbow is now coming to the edge of the block. We have our right hand touching through the right shoulder, and we'll start to come down. Again, one shoulder might feel a lot different than the other. So instead of trying to physically match what it looks like on the outside, can you go to the edge of the sensation that feels kind of similar? Lengthen 2 exhales. And we'll work to come out of it. Lose the block. Work yourself back to that tabletop and give me a little hip shift side to side. Maybe a little shoulder sway, a couple of barrel rolls. And as you wish, we'll press it back into your downward facing dog. Add some movement so that we're easing into this shape. I really like to walk my feet around wider or narrow in circles, swaying my hips, bending the knees. All right, let's get to our neutral down dog stance. From here, we get a breath in, lift the heels up. Exhale, lift that left leg up, bend your knee and open up through the hip. Breath in. Exhale, left knee high to your left armpit. Really shift the weight forward so those shoulders are passing over the wrists. Pause here, breath in. Exhale, land that left foot down, low lunge, here we go, arms are rising up. Feel that the hips are more or less pointing forward and that the middle section of your right hip flexors are wanting to go down. And as we're working off to have those hips pointing forward, getting in through that right side of the hip flexors, we'll add the arms. Take a breath in, telescope up through the top torso. Exhale, flip your palms outward so the thumbs are going to face forward, pinkies are back, and then start to move the arms back slowly, slowly, slowly. You'll feel the chest open up until we can clasp our hands behind us. Interlace the fingers, and then draw the knuckles down just enough where the chest starts to lift up toward the chin. So we're not lifting the head, we're lifting the whole chest up toward the chin. Release the hands, bring the arms all the way back up. We'll try that just once more. Breath in, get tall. Exhale, palms are facing out, thumbs forward, pinkies back. Reach the arms up and back. You'll feel that lift of the chest. Interlace fingers, other finger on top. Squeezing shoulder blades back, lifting the chest up, head stays neutral. Release the arms all the way back forward, and exhale, set those hands down. Slide that left knee back. Modified plank, breath in. Exhale, lower down and forward. From here, hands stay right where they are under the shoulders. We have a little guest appearance of my cat today, so you're welcome for that, bonus points. Elbows are reaching back. Regular cobra, inhale, lift up. And feel your limit here. As you exhale, come all the way down and forward. Please lift your hands up off of the floor. Feet stay down. Breath in. Exhale, lifting up. Notice the ranges are probably quite a bit different. That's fine. We're feeling our erector starting to fire a little more. Breath in. Exhale, lower it down. Hands slide back behind the shoulders. Push it back, downward facing dog. Heels lift, breath in. Exhale, right leg lifts up, bend your knee, open up through your hip. Breath in, left heel lifts. Exhale, shift it forward, right knee high to your right armpit. Can you really push the mat away so we're protracting through the shoulders? Inhale. Exhale, set that right foot down. We come on up for our low lunge. Feel the hips are kind of pointing forward, and the middle part of those hamstrings, the hip flexors, are coming down. I'm going to go forward and down. Breath in. Add the arms. Exhale, thumbs forward, pinkies back. We'll reach those arms back, 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 back until we can't, and we'll have a little bend of the elbows, clasp the hands, chest is lifting up toward the chin. Release the hands forward, all the way up. Breath in. Exhale. Flip the thumbs forward, pinkies back. Reach up and back, up and back, up and back. Clasp the hands, the other thumb on top. Breath in. Exhale, release the arms. We'll set those hands down. Slide the right knee back, modified plank once more for our modified flow. Exhale, lowering down and forward. Hands hang out under the shoulders. Cobra, inhale, lift. Exhale down. Lift your hands, breath in. Exhale, lift. Hold here on your lift. We have a bonus reach. Elbows are hugging in like a W shape towards your ribs. Inhale. Exhale, reach the right arm over to your left, increasing space from right hip to right fingers. Back through center, inhale. Exhale, reach left arm over toward the right corner of the mat. Back through center, inhale, set your hands, exhale, cobra. You might find, oh, there's a little bit more space. All the way down and forward. Push it back, downward facing dog. As you get there, slow down a breath for yourself. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, left leg lifts up, bend your knee, open up through your hip. Next exhale, left knee high to your left armpit. We'll step up this time for our high lunge. As you come up, please grab your block. We want the block pressing between your palms, not your fingers. Between your palms, the long setting, and then we'll extend the arms. Feel the outside of your arm bones wrapping forward. And if we're doing this, if we're giving this a good enough squeeze, you might already feel the arms starting to shake a little bit. Elbows want to stay pointing up toward the ceiling. Breathe in. Squeeze the block so much. Exhale, bend the elbows. Hands and block are going to the upper back without letting the elbows do one of these. Inhale, back up. We're pressing and squeezing through the block. Exhale, bend the elbows. Block is going back. Now, as you do that, can you traction that left thigh forward a little bit? Push down through the left heel a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Reach the arms up. Lose the block. Set the hands down. We'll step back for a plank. Shoulders over wrists, breath in. Option to lower with or without your knees, exhale. Cobra or up dog as you inhale. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Heels lift up. Exhale, right leg lifts up. Bend your knee, open up through your hip. Breath in. Exhale, reach that right knee high to your armpit. Pause. And we'll step that foot up. Once again, grab your block. Squeeze the block between the palms. Reach those arms up. We already feel the engagement of that outer armpit area, the serratus, because those arms are rolling forward, because we're squeezing in. Breath in. Head relax it a little bit so it's not jeering forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, squeezing the block. Inhale, back up. 2 more. The jaw likes to tense here. The eyes like to get really serious here, so soften those. Loose the block. Set those hands down. Flow of your choice will meet in downward facing dog. So with or without the knees, we lower. Cobra, maybe an up dog to lift. Downward facing dog. Heels lift up, breath in. Exhale, left leg lifted up. Bend your knee, open up through your hip. We make a cross this time. Exhale, left knee over to your right armpit. And really lean forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Big arc of a C shape. Exhale, left knee high to your left armpit. Step that foot up, high lunge, arms rise up. Feel that the thumbs are moving back and feel that the chest has more space to lift up. So there's already a subtle back bend happening. Working through our atlases. So when I say atlas, I want you to imagine you're holding a globe. So we're widening the arms. As we widen the arms, we feel like there's something in our hands. Thumbs are going back. Inhale, lift up your atlas. Exhale, slowly travel that atlas forward. And as you travel that atlas forward, hug it in, creating your own little world. So we're going underneath that left thigh, maybe reaching for opposite forearms, opposite elbows, opposite upper arms. Inhale, open back up. We feel how the chest starts to lift. There's lots of space from hand through inner arm through chest. Exhale, slow travel of that atlas forward, and then bring it into your space. You're creating it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it forward, and hug in. All the way up, so really gluing through the base of that left big toe mound, the heel. From here, exhale, sweep the arms out to the side, flip the palms up and back. So again, we're feeling that lift of the chest pull forward. Start to hinge forward at the hip. As we hinge forward at the hip, pour a lot of weight into that left leg. Keep the chest lifted. Swan, exhale, tilting forward, float the back leg. It doesn't have to be super big. Can we lift the toe? We lift the arms, we lift the chest. Exhale, high lunge all the way back. Breath in once more. Swan, exhale, travel it forward. Back leg lifts, heart is pulling forward. All the way back, high lunge. Exhale, set the hands down. As the hands set down, slowly set your right knee down. Now, if you are knee sensitive, I'll have you pad the knee by flipping the mat, a pad or two more, or you can grab like a towel or a blanket underneath. As we have that knee on something that's going to feel okay, I'd like us to come upright. As we come upright, we have options for our H to B lunge. You can assist yourself with a hand on the block, or you can assist yourself with that forearm or hand on the thigh. The action is happening in this right hip. As we exhale, can we bend your right knee? Heel is going toward the butt. Grabbing for the foot. Chest wants to stay forward. This might be enough. If you want a little more, we start to pull that foot closer to your butt. If you want a little more, the fingers are going forward, the elbow is going back, but that chest is still staying open. The breath is still moving. It's super easy to cut off the breath here. So breathe fully as we're here only for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Set those hands down. Downward facing dog. From the down dog, lift your right leg up, bend the knee, open up through the hip. Give me 2 circles each direction with that knee. Right leg sets down. Take a slight detour, heels lift up. Exhale, roll forward into your plank. Pause, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. As we come all the way down, back to the W with the arms. Elbows are in towards your ribs. Breath in. This time, arms and legs. Exhale, lift. Close your eyes. Continue your breath. Feel this arc, this bow shape from the shoulders through the belly, all the way up, through the hips, all the way up, even maybe through the legs. And then exhale, everything coming down. Hands go back behind the shoulders, downward facing dog, exhale. All right, heels lift up. Exhale, right leg lifts up, bend the knee, open up through the hip. We're going for a cross. Exhale, right knee over towards your left armpit. Really shift that weight forward. All the way up and back. 3-pointed plank. Exhale, right knee high to your right armpit. Land that foot for your high lunge. Arms are rising up. Base of your right big toe, glue it down. Feel this inner thigh hug toward the midline. Atlases. Arms go wide. Chest lifts up. Feel that you're actively creating space, breath by breath, as that breath moves up and paints space. Thumbs back, inhale. Exhale, take your world forward, and then welcome yourself into it as we hug underneath that right thigh. Inhale, press through the legs, your strong legs. All the way up, there's this wave, there's this opening. Exhale, rounding down. After this one, please do one more. As you lift, we'll start to reach those arms back. Palms will face up. As the palms face up, start to lift your heart forward and then lean forward. Weight is pouring in through that right leg. Breath in, swan. Exhale, launching through front leg. Back leg is lifting a little or a lot. Feel the heart move forward, the arms lift up. High lunge, gently glide back, arms lift. Exhale right into your swan. Back up, high lunge. Exhale, set the hands down. Left knee down, and we'll go into lunge, heel to butt. Setting up, if you need, block on the right, or hand or forearm to that right thigh. Getting in through the left side of the hip flexors, left quad. Here we go. We bend through your left knee. Might not even need the hand, but some of us can touch the hand to the foot. And then others can start to exhale. Reach that heel a little bit closer now. This doesn't feel like the most amazing thing, but this area is often tight. Functionally, that's great. We need some of our parts of our body to be tight. But if they're always tight and we don't know how to release them, that can create some problems. If you want to flip the hand, you flip the hand. Left side of the ribs are going forward. Can you give me 3 breaths? And then we release. Move our stuff out of our way. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open up through the hip. Give me 2 circles each direction. And then setting that left foot down. Slow down the breath for yourself. And move it right to the spot where you feel that you are occupying your body. The part that feels like you showed up. And with that connection, lift the heels up. Exhale, left foot, just step it forward. High lunge. Arms are rising up. With the rise of the arms up, brain cradle, clasp the hands behind the back of the head and the neck, and we'll wrap those elbows forward. So remember when our elbows are on the block in our warm-up, we're feeling that space lift. And as that space lifts, we can traction the thigh forward. We can sink a little lower through the hip. On the inhale, lift forward and up with the chest. On the exhale, lay the head back. It doesn't have to be a lot. Could you be here and trust for a moment that you've got yourself, you've got your thoughts? Inhale, back up. Exhale, release your hands. Slide them back. Palms flip up. Tilt the body weight forward. We're going back into our swan. Exhale, lift. And as we exhale, lift, trust your left leg. Stand on it. Rise all the way up. Right knee is lifting up toward the chest. Left arm stays lifted. Right arm, thumb is pointing forward. Pinky is back. Can we swim the arm back and grab the inside of your right foot, preparing for our dancer? You've done this angle of the shoulder like 80 million times already. We have that open. Little bend through your left leg, breath in. Now can we exhale, move your left thumb to the sternum? Let that lift up. As we exhale, kick the back foot into the hand. Meet your sternum toward your thumb. Guide it into your dancer. Go to a depth that feels good, that feels proud. You wobble, you own it. Start to come up. Arms rise up. Right knee lifts up. Step it back, lunge. Hands are setting down. Step back through for your plank. Option for a flow. And then we have our down dog. Slow down a breath. Inhale, heels lift up. Exhale, right leg. Can we just step it up in through for your high lunge? Arms rise up, preparing for brain cradle. Clasp the hands behind the back of the head and the neck. Wrap those elbows forward. Lift up from belly, through ribs, through chest, through armpits. And as you lift up through armpits, let the right thigh move forward in space and exhale, lay up and back. Feel yourself actively supporting your body, your mind, your brain. And on the inhale, lift up. Release the arms. We'll move the palms back. Really start to lift them up. Moving in through our swan, tilting the weight forward. Exhale, float. Push strongly through your right leg all the way up to standing. Left knee floats. As the left knee floats, we'll flip the left thumb forward, left pinky back. And we'll reach on the inside for that left ankle. Breath in. Exhale, place the right thumb to your sternum. Lift up. As you exhale, start to kick, but also start to guide your heart forward in space. Whatever depth is good today. Might do this class in like 3 days from now, and it's totally different. Can you smooth out a single exhale? And then rise it back up. Rise it all the way back up. And step it back into your high lunge. Hands land. Flow or no flow. Back to down dog. Heels lift up. Exhale, left leg lifted up. Step forward, low lunge to start, just so we can set that back knee up first. And I'd like you to feel like, again, that middle part of your right hip flexor section wants to face forward. You feel like there's length through the back of your leg. And once that right leg feels like there's length, top of the foot is down, then go ahead and start walking that left foot over for your pigeon. And we'll stay lifted. And as we stay lifted, can you lift the chest? Tent the fingertips. If your hands do not reach, you do have a couple of blocks that you can tent the fingertips on. And I want you to think back to one of the very first things we did in the practice, those waves in our bridge. We're going to repeat them here. So as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lay the heart down and forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down and forward. And think of this as a little floss. Try for one more. As we rise back up, we have options here. If you're like, okay, I'm good with the pigeon, you can come down for the whole duration of the 10 breaths. Otherwise, we're continuing our back bending journey today, bending through the back leg. Now, I like to give you options. We have an option 1 of having your right hand, grab your right foot. If you're like, ooh, I want to get fancy and go into a mermaid pose, go for it. If, however, you'd like to have both arms forward and you feel pretty solid in the base, we take our strap, we lasso the foot. Both arms are reaching up. We have one hand on the strap, the other hand on top of that strap hand. Elbows are reaching forward. And as the heart pulls forward, the foot actually pushes away from us to create this beautiful arc. Now, if you've just got in this pose, hanging out here for another 5 breaths. If you've been in a pose, we're hanging out here for another 5 breaths. In your own time, we let go. If you were in the back bend, maybe visiting a lengthy pigeon for a couple breaths. And from our pigeons, we rise, tabletop, couple circles with the hips. And then it's to our down dog. Slow down the breath. We'll lift the heels up. Right leg lifts up, and then you open the hip. We'll land forward in through our low lunge. Just enough time and space so we can feel like the left leg is long. Like the meaty middle part of that hip is pointing more or less forward. Top of the back foot, might want to press down some. And then we'll find our pigeon. We stay upright. Think of those waves. Closing your eyes might be an awesome idea. And on the inhale, there's a lift of the chest. Exhale, wave down in space. As you work your waves, feel like you are the one deciding how big these are. Your breath is deciding how long, how much space you take up into the length of the pose. And we come upon our options of pigeon, options of bending your left knee, left hand to foot, or hugging around for your mermaid. Other option, taking the strap, lassoing it back. One hand goes on the strap, the other hand is on top of that hand. And it's a lengthen of the heart forward and a little bit of a kick into the strap. There's no rush to get anywhere. There's no one forcing you to do any of this. Remember that. It's something that really shifted for me. When I started working the poses in a way that felt better, it wasn't about going deeper. It wasn't about doing the pose that was most challenging or doing the pose that I just thought was easiest. It's about showing up and breathing in my choices and why I chose them and being proud of why I'm choosing my choices. Be proud of why you choose your choices. It's a mouthful, but that's our practice. When you're even, let it go. Slide it back. Couple of circles with those hips. And it's a down dog.
Start to walk those feet closer to the hands. We're pausing in a little bit of a forward fold. Bend the knees, butt starts to sink down, and we do simply sit down. Please have both of your blocks nearby. And we'll lie down. Place both hands over your belly. Let the feet go wide, let the knees knock in. Take 3 breaths. Assess your energy. If you are feeling that your energy is calling for more rest, supported bridge with 1 or 2 blocks would be a great option. That would look something like this. 1 or 2 blocks stacking, hips lifting up. The second block stack on the low setting is nice because then we have a ton of space for the hips to lay on the blocks. If you've assessed your energy and you're like, hey, Bree, I think I have more. I want to move just a little bit more. We're thinking about coming into our wheel. Wheel people, hands are landing behind the shoulders. Those elbows are hugging in. We've done this the whole class, reaching the elbows in. The feet are pushing down. And on your exhale, there's that wave of the spine to lift all the way up. Now, if you're like, Bree, I actually have a lot of energy. I feel really good. From your wheel, you might choose to come down to one forearm and then the other forearm. I want you to choose something that's going to feel good, and I want you to choose it for about 10 breaths. So if you are in a wheel or if you're in that forearm variation, maybe come up once or twice and then come down. And while you work on this, can your breath be long? Are you choosing the right option for yourself? Sometimes we think, yes, I'm choosing the right option, and then it turns out like, oh, that wasn't maybe the best choice. Again, that's part of the practice. But that's leading you to trust yourself. You following your intuition, and then you're like, okay, is this an accurate assessment? So practice by practice, you build your self-confidence. You build your relationship with your body. Now, the pose that's waiting for you when you are done is feet wide, knees knocking in, and the arms out to the side. With your arms out to your side, creating a new arch. With the eyes closed, start to feel both of your palms. Starting to witness the energy that is there. Maybe adapt a color. Maybe it's a texture. But can you start to pour that energy, that light, that color from the palms up through the forearms, across the upper arms, and across the chest? And from this vast space that you've just made, from palm through arm across chest, down through the other arm, down through the palm, can you start to rise and emit that to create this big rainbow of light, of energy from palm to the other palm, from the base all the way up to the arc, like a rainbow. And feel that when you breathe, when your chest expands, you're simply bathing yourself further in this light. All of this space and opportunity is waiting for you. You just let yourself lift into it. Feel all of that you've accomplished during this practice. And can you maintain the support with the chest as you just let the legs soften down? And you let this giant rainbow of energy from palm to palm across the chest, all in front of you. And be there like a beacon. Like an inner lighthouse. So that it feels safe to show up. It feels exciting and possible to show up. Because you know you're the one that's guiding you. Would you please take 3 better breaths for yourself? And feeling like that energy, that bright energy in front of you could be there. Even though we're starting to reach the arms up over the head, start to reach the legs long, there's still that space in front of the chest. And as you exhale and bend the knees and roll over to your left side, heart closer to the earth, there's still that space in front of you. And with the eyes closed, as you rise up into a seat, you feel an effortless lift of the chest. Like it feels good to be here. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Take a breath for yourself. In honor, acknowledgement of all the ways you did show up, you bow the head. And on the inhale, lifting your head, opening your eyes, and letting in the light. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice. I hope to see you soon in another class, or maybe in this same class in a couple of days.